When you're underwater, it's hard to breathe. Luckily, fish have special adaptations that allow them to get oxygen from water. And they can even sense danger while they're at it. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be learning how fish can breathe underwater and sense danger at the same time. As always, the first part of this question is the easiest. I can answer it with just one word: gills. You see, these feathery structures are what allow fish to breathe underwater. The feathery structure of gills provides a large surface area for extracting dissolved oxygen from the water. When fish take a gulp of water, the oxygen passes through their gills into their bloodstream. And when the fish releases the water, any waste gases like carbon dioxide come out of the blood and into the water. But how does this whole process work? Well, thanks to the magic of science, let's find out. All living land vertebrates have a common ancestor that is thought to have looked something like a fish. These ancient creatures were the first vertebrates to evolve, appearing around 530 million years ago, and early fish were able to extract oxygen from water using simple sacs near their mouths. However, around 365 million years ago, something incredible happened. A group of fish evolved that had internal skeletons made of bone instead of cartilage. Sharks, rays, and other cartilaginous fish are still around today, and they still use those primitive sacs to breathe. But bony fish evolved gills, which were much more efficient at extracting oxygen from water. Gills consists of thin, flexible tissue supported by bony arches that allow the fish to take in lots of water, while keeping the delicate gill tissue from being damaged. This also allowed some fish to swim faster. Some fish, like lungfish, still have lungs in addition to gills. This allows them to gulp air directly from the surface of the water, which is helpful when the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water is low. Other fish live in stagnant waters where there isn't enough oxygen for gills to work well, so they evolve to supplement the oxygen they get from water by absorbing it directly through their skin. No matter how fish get their oxygen, the goal is the same: to maintain an adequate supply of oxygen for cellular respiration. All living things need oxygen for cellular respiration, and without oxygen, fish would simply suffocate. Now, let's move on to the second part of our question. How do fish sense danger while breathing underwater? It turns out that fish have several ways of sensing danger. One way is through their lateral line system. The lateral line is a sensory system found in all aquatic vertebrates. It consists of a series of canals and receptors that run along the sides of a fish's body. It can detect minute pressure changes in the surrounding water, which can be caused by the movement of another fish or an object like a fishing lure. This allows the fish to sense the presence of nearby objects or predators, even if they are hidden from view. You can think of it like a sixth sense. To test this, scientists have conducted experiments where they placed fish in tanks with objects that either moved or were stationary. The fish were trained to associate moving objects with food and stationary ones with danger. Eventually, the fish could be tricked by an object that was not actually dangerous, but because of the lateral line system, they knew to stay away. While this sense is most acute in fish, some mammals like dolphins and whales also have lateral lines. However, theirs are much less developed than the ones found in fish. Another way fish sense danger is through their nostrils. They can smell chemicals released by stressed fish, which means they can detect danger from far away. For example, three-spined sticklebacks release a chemical called alarm pheromone. When they're attacked by a predator, the other fish in the community can detect the alarm pheromone and subsequently increase their own survival by hiding in crevices or changing their behavior. Researchers believe that the ability to detect alarm chemicals may have been a critical adaptation that allowed fish to survive the mass extinction event that occurred at the end of the Cretaceous period. Essentially, fish that could detect danger by smell were more likely to survive and pass on their genes than those that could untet. This brings us to our last method of sensing danger: electroreception. This is the ability to detect electrical signals generated by other organisms. Many fish, like sharks and rays, have specialized receptors called ampulla of Lorenzini that are used for electroreception. These receptors are pores filled with a conductive gel that are connected to a sensory cell. When a prey item moves, it creates a weak electrical signal in the water. The signal is picked up by the fish's ampulla of Lorenzini and sent to the brain. where it is interpreted as the presence of food. Sharks can even detect the heartbeat of their prey through this system. While it seems incredibly useful, electroreception can be somewhat of a burden. That is because many man-made structures, like docks and power lines, generate electrical signals that can interfere with a shark's ability to find prey. As a result, some sharks avoid these areas altogether. Electroreception has also been observed in other animals like platypuses and some species of catfish, so the next time you go swimming, just remember, fish can breathe underwater and sense danger through their gills, nostrils, and electroreception. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more fishy facts. See ya!